All right, welcome back to Truth Movement Cartel. So, those of you that follow me and have been along for this last few months, I have come to you from a vision that I've had from God. And I know that sounds crazy. Hear me out. I don't preach religion on my shows. I don't talk about it. I use it in bits and pieces, but I don't discuss it because I believe people that discuss religion, it causes too many problems, and it sections people out. If you believe in this person, you don't believe in that person, you're not getting the message out. So what I'm talking about is from all of us, perspective, okay? Because I am not somebody that has any grounds to give you any kind of religious sermon or anything. I just know what I know, all right? I have come to you for the last about 3 months about how I saw who Trump really was. I put all the pieces together and then had my vision. I have told you that I believe that they are faking the second coming. I believe it's all part of the stage. That is why they faked when he got shot to the ear. It was the right blood on the right ear. Blood, he raised his hand. You got blood down the right hand, and you got blood on your right foot. Remember, he screamed, "Hey, get my right shoe." It was a staged event. We all know that. And I thought, wow, so they're staging something. Remember, this goes right in line with who is the AC and all the details. I have shown you the red heifer. I have shown you the day after they did it, and they said that they didn't, and I told you that they definitely did. I know from inside, and then it actually ended up coming out that they did do it. Guys, I have basically given you a blueprint, and then I heard this gentleman who did this post yesterday, and my jaw dropped to the ground. So I want you to listen to this. This is verbatim what I have been telling you about the digital ID, the digital currency, the mark of the beast, the entire system. I have fully detailed on my YouTube. For those of you who might be watching this for the first time, my YouTube is Truth, Space Movement, Space Cartel with the K. You can watch. I have fully detailed all. I want you to listen to this guy right here, and I'll be back at the end. This is incredible.
In Iran? I'll tell you why. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Don't worry, this will only take a couple minutes. See, Trump, Netanyahu, John Hagee, Jared Kushner, and friends are manufacturing the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. They're staging it, like a live-action end times Broadway show. In 2018, Trump moves the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. That's not random. That's Zechariah 12:3. Jerusalem will become a burdensome stone for all nations. They're using scripture like a script. And here's where it gets wild. Evangelicals straight up call Trump God's chosen vessel. They compare him to King Cyrus, Isaiah 45. Cyrus is a pagan king anointed by God to fulfill prophecy and rebuild Jerusalem, and he allowed the Jews to build temple number 2. Trump was the 45th president. Coincidence? That's the kind of symbolism they eat up. They're casting him as the modern Cyrus, the one who prepares the way for the third temple. Meanwhile, John Hagee and the Christians United for Israel crowd losing their minds. They're clapping like seals every time Trump does something that nudges Israel closer to temple reconstruction. And you think it's about politics? Nah, it's ritual. It's myth in real time. Then there's the red heifers. Real ones. Bred in Texas, flown to Israel in 2022. Numbers 19. The Temple Institute wants them to purify the priesthood. That's the last step before they start building. And Jared Kushner, Trump's golden boy and Orthodox Jew, brokered the Abraham Accords. Sounds peaceful, right? Nope. It's setting the table for Daniel 9:27. He will confirm a covenant with many, aka Antichrist energy. And if you think this ends with temple stones and golden menorahs, think again. They're already pushing for the third temple. 2 Thessalonians 2:4. He'll sit in God's temple and proclaim himself to be God. Sound familiar yet? And while everybody's distracted watching this messianic soap opera, the real beast system is already installing itself behind the scenes. Revelation 13, the mark of the beast. It's not a tattoo, bro. It's digital ID, QR codes, biometric scans, central bank digital currencies. It's the system that says, take this mark or starve. That's Revelation 13:17. It's here right now, and most of y'all are cheering it on. They're not waiting on prophecy. They're building it. They're not serving God. They're playing God. Trump, Netanyahu, Hagee, Kushner, all of them. This isn't the end of days. It's the launch of a global empire.
All right. So now you just heard Finn, and he told you exactly what I have been saying. He gave you the actual chapters of the Bible and a little bit more of a professional look at it, because like I said, I don't do religion like that, but I know what I know. So the fact that he just said this, your mind should be blown and your jaw should be on the ground. Guys, we are here for a real reason. This isn't time to be worried about he said, she said, I said, this, that, blah, blah, blah. We need to come together as one. Black, white, yellow, brown, Muslim, Christian, whatever. When it comes time, sit down. Do not do anything ridiculous. Sit down. Just sit down. That way, when the money stops, it all stops. Okay? So, it is staggering, to be honest with you. It is staggering. Now, take a look at here. This is King Charles just yesterday. And I told you why Trump was there. This is going to make you completely lose your mind. So, here's King Charles.
Required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
We need a vast military-style campaign to marshal, let me replay it so that you know I'm not making this up, okay? Let me just replay it. Listen to the last part of this. A vast military-style campaign to do what?
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
A vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the what?
Global
private sector.
Yes. Isn't that?
So we're going to basically utilize the mechanisms that have been deployed by private industry to move a cashless society forward. Now, watch what he says, because this gets really significant. Watch this.
With trillions at disposal.
Wait. Let's rewind that again. You know what? Can we do this? Let's play this from the very beginning so that you guys understand that there is no reference to who he is. Who is his? Let me play it again.
Renewable and sustainable. So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at his disposal.
Who is his? Look what he goes on to say.
Far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
Beyond what? Can I just say the last part of this? Beyond what? Look what he says.
It offers the only real prospect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real
beyond the governments of the world's leaders.
Yeah. So his disposal. So, folks, this is absolutely remarkable, and I guarantee you, he said this on purpose. He's reading his notes. Who do you think told him to say this?
This was not a fluke. And by the way, there's only a few guys that have been yelling about this. Me, Tom, Andy Woods, a few others. And you know what they've been doing? They've been erasing this off the internet.
Yeah. This is absolutely remarkable to understand the days that we live in.